The University of Northern Iowa just walked into Drake Stadium and systematically dismantled 12 events while setting 21 individual career bests in a single afternoon. And here is the part that should stop you cold. That wasn't even their full team. Half their roster was 2,000 miles away in California competing at the same time, also putting up elite numbers. One program, 2 meets, 1 afternoon, and they embarrassed everyone at both. What UNI is building in Cedar Falls is something college, track, and field hasn't seen in a very long time. Let's start with what actually happened at Drake Stadium, because the numbers tell a story that goes way deeper than just another good day at the track. The afternoon began with the pole vault, where UNI's Erica Miner and Sydney Scott didn't just win and place second, they both cleared 11 feet, 11 3/4 inches, a height that would win most collegiate competitions outright. In pole vault, having 2 athletes capable of clearing nearly 12 feet is like having 2 quarterbacks who can both throw for 4,000 yards. It just doesn't happen by accident. But that was just the beginning. In the men's discus, UNI didn't just take first place. They locked down the entire podium. Nolan Dempsey unleashed a career-best throw of 178 feet, 9 inches to claim victory, while Carson Leono and David Russell followed at 167 feet, 2 inches, and 166 feet, 6 inches respectively. Think about what that means for a moment. UNI had 3 discus throwers all capable of throwing over 165 feet on the same day. Most programs would be thrilled to have one athlete at that level. UNI had 3, and they were all peaking simultaneously. The dominance continued in the high jump, where Josie Moreland cleared 5 feet 5 inches for first place, while teammate Katie Hand took third at 5 feet 1 inch. The shot put saw Brianna Hackman, Briley Lawrence, and Jory Hainenberg claim second, third, and fourth places with throws ranging from 44 feet, 2 inches to 45 feet, 10.5 inches. But if you think the field events were impressive, wait until you see what happened on the track. Emma Randecker didn't just win the women's sprints, she obliterated them. Her victory in the 100 meters came with a time of 11.85 seconds, fast enough to compete at the national level. But then, she moved to the 200 meters and ran 23.73 seconds, which became the second fastest time in UNI program history. Let that sink in. Randecker didn't just have a good day. She ran the second fastest 200 meters in the entire history of her program, a program that's been competing at the Division I level for decades. That's not just winning, that's rewriting the record books. On the men's side, Tinashe Chigudu swept both sprint events with times that would make professional coaches take notice. His 10.47 seconds in the 100 meters was followed by a career-best 20.94 seconds in the 200. But here's what makes UNI different. Chigudu wasn't running alone. Luke Myers and Tyler Sickerson both broke 10.7 seconds in the 100, placing third and fifth. 3 men, under 10.7 seconds from the same program, on the same day. The 400-meter hurdles showcased perhaps the most dominant performance of the entire meet. Darcy Wiseman, Carly Jo Fusco, and Eden Moore didn't just finish on the podium. They owned it completely, sweeping first, second, and third places with times ranging from 1 minute, 1.5 seconds to 1 minute, 3.13 seconds. In the technical event of 400-meter hurdles, having 3 athletes capable of breaking 1 minute, 4 seconds is nearly unprecedented at the collegiate level. Derek Woods controlled the men's 800 meters with a winning time of 1 minute, 49.41 seconds, while Megan Wheatley dominated the women's 5,000 meters in 17 minutes, 24.88 seconds. UNI saved their most impressive statement for last. The day concluded with relay sweeps in both the men's and women's 4x400 meter events. The women clocked 3 minutes, 42.71 seconds, while the men ran 3 minutes, 12.2 seconds. Sweeping both relays demands precise handoff technique and shows a level of program cohesion most teams never achieve. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. While half the UNI squad was dismantling the competition in Des Moines, the other half was 2,000 miles away in Azusa, California, putting up elite numbers at the Brian Clay Invitational. UNI's multi-event specialists proved the program's depth. Katie Stevens finished 4th overall in the heptathlon among 66 competitors, scoring a career-best 5,728 points. the second-best mark in UNI history. She set career best marks in 3 individual disciplines, achieving times and distances that would be competitive in standalone events. Joey Perry placed 7th overall with 5,617 points, setting personal records in 5 of the 7 events. The men's decathlon performances were equally impressive. Carter Morton placed 4th in a field of 60 athletes with 7,782 points, setting career best marks in 4 events, including a 25-foot, 2.5-inch long jump. Ty Hardin, competing in his first collegiate decathlon, finished 17th overall with 6,970 points while setting 4 personal records. These aren't just good college performances. These are elite marks that demonstrate technical mastery across multiple disciplines. The decathlon and heptathlon require athletes to excel in sprints, distance running, jumping events, and throwing events. Most athletes struggle to compete at a high level in even 2 of these areas. UNI has multiple athletes setting personal records across all of them. But here's what makes UNI's performance truly remarkable. This wasn't a one-time peak. This was systematic excellence across an entire program, executed simultaneously on both coasts. While Stevens and Perry were setting heptathlon records in California, Randecker was rewriting sprint history in Iowa. While Morton was throwing personal records in the decathlon discus in Azusa, Dempsey was setting a career best in the same event in Des Moines, Sass. The depth and breadth of talent performing at peak levels simultaneously isn't luck. It's the result of coaching philosophy and training methodology that most programs haven't figured out. Think about the logistical complexity of what UNI accomplished, coordinating travel and competition schedules so that athletes can compete at optimal venues for their events while maintaining training consistency across multiple time zones. Managing the nutritional and recovery needs of athletes competing in everything from 50-meter sprints to 5,000-meter distance races to 10 event competitions spanning 2 days. The administrative precision required to execute this level of performance is as impressive as the athletic achievements themselves. Most college programs focus resources on a handful of events to score conference points, resulting in obvious strengths and glaring weaknesses. UNI has taken a completely different approach, developing systematic excellence across every event group. This level of development requires a coaching staff capable of developing talent across vastly different disciplines, from biomechanics and explosive power to balancing 10-event training loads. More than technical expertise, it requires a culture prioritizing continuous improvement over immediate results. Every one of the 21 career best performances at Drake and 16 in California represents an athlete focused on long-term development.